Hello everybody, Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Shadowbringers. In the last episode, we had our first encounter with the Ascian Emmett Selk. We hadn't actually met up to this particular point. Emmett Selk is also known as Solus Galvus, who was the original founder of the Garlean Empire, as well as other imperially inclined nations over history, according to him. And so he complained about the fact that we've set back the rejoining considerably through our efforts thus far, which is good news for us. And then decided that instead of trying to oppose us and trying to kill us by siding with Valkyrie, he has decided to take a different approach, and that different approach is one of cooperation, which was eyebrow-raising. He is not going to interfere with our quest to destroy the Light Wardens, and will even help us out if we ask him. So, odd. And of course, none of the party believes a word that the Ascian is saying, which is probably prudent. But that is interesting. So far, we'll see how that progresses. And then, we took a rest, had our chat with Ardbert, then went and talked to the Crystal Exarch again, and got the further plan. We need to figure out where the remaining Light Wardens are in Eorzea, in Amareng, and in Raktika. Alphino and Alice are going to be heading off to Eorzea and Amareng, respectively, and we are going to be heading over to Raktika to meet up with Y'shtola and see if we can track down the Light Warden and destroy it. There. On the way over, we stopped off at a cathedral that used to be for worshippers of light prior to the flood, but those worshippers of light converted over to worshippers of darkness after the flood, and found a tablet that was apparently written in the script of the Empire of Ronka that used to exist in Raktika. So, interesting. We're going to be delivering that to Y'shtola and see what she can make out of it. So that is where we are at, needing to head on over to Raktika, which we are not in right now. We are back in Eorzea, because I figured that at this point was a good spot to go ahead and divert a little bit, because I'm now level 75, and I hit level 74 in Ilmeg, so this is a good spot to go ahead and work on the role quest line with a grandson here. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll take care of that, and then we'll head on over to Raktika and see how things go once we arrive there. So let's go ahead and get started. So grandson here. Grandson would like nothing more than to leave right behind. All right. Sorry to have kept you waiting, Sinner. I'm sure you're eager to get back to it, as am I. Trouble is, in your absence, I have failed to turn up any information on the whereabouts, or as to the whereabouts of Dikaiosine. There is one line of inquiry I've yet to pursue, though. The Fangs of Orthus. The bracelet my beloved was supposed to restore, and that Eater took with him when he left Right. Sin Eaters are mindless fiends driven only by base instinct. Everyone knows that. They have no need for worldly possessions. Yet Dikaiosine took the bracelet away, which can only mean that there's something unique about this particular antique, or the sinless bastard somehow different from the rest of his ilk. Either way, I think we need to learn more about the Fangs of Orthus, and I know just the man to ask, the Yulmoran trader who commissioned Melinda's services. As much as I'd like to question him myself, though, I don't think that's an option. Even though Dikaiosine's attack a year ago is common knowledge, I doubt the trader will believe that a Sin Eater, or that an Eater stole his precious trinket. He's more likely to accuse me of theft and have me clapped in irons. So I'm afraid you'll have to go in my stead, Ayame. Melinda said he was a regular at the Beehive, so try looking for him there first. So you want us to head into Yulmore? Okay. Is that wise? We're unattuned to the Aetheryte, obviously, because, you know, we couldn't. Alright, well, if anybody gives us trouble there, we have a giant sword that we'll have something to say about that. Since I can't teleport, I'm gonna have to walk. Well, that's inconvenient. And, unfortunately, I also don't have access to the Gem Trader here, because the Gem Trader is in a part of the map that I can't actually get to yet, so I can't get the riding map, which gives me the increased riding speed. Again, an inconvenience. And also, I can't fly here yet, because half the map is inaccessible, which has the rest of the ether currents in it. So, you know, just gonna have to hoof it. I guess I am technically still a citizen here, because I did immigrate, so I'm in the paperwork. So far the guards aren't really seeming interested in doing anything about me doing anything. I'm not sure if that really helps me. Alright, so we need to head on over to the Beehive, which is over here. Alright, so where is the trader we need to talk to? There you are. And to what do I owe the pleasure that is your company? The Fangs of Orthus, you say? How very interesting. I should be glad to tell you everything that I know, under the assumption that, should you recover it, you will see it return to its rightful owner at once. I purchased the bracelet from a traveling peddler who claimed it was a relic of Verbert, that glorious kingdom that fell with the flood like so many others. He spoke true. From what I could tell, I intended to sell it to a collector here for a tidy profit, after having it properly restored by an artisan and right. Alas, she was one of several casualties of a sin-eater attack, during which the Fangs of Orthus mysteriously vanished. I have, of course, been keeping in touch with several contacts on the off chance the thief might attempt to sell it. They have not, regrettably, but a piece of similar design did recently surface in Mordsuk, I am told. I was planning to dispatch an agent to investigate, but you seem more than capable of fulfilling that role. As for incentive, you may be assured that any information that aids me in the acquisition of the Fangs of Orthus or similar relics will be well rewarded. Alright. So I guess we'll be off to Mordsuk. Alright, so what did our industrious patron have to say? So he thinks it was stolen, eh? Just as well. Well, we'd probably not know where to head next if it wasn't for his distrusting nature. If this piece of similar design is related to the Fangs of Orthus, then it might distract Dikaiosine's attention, assuming it hasn't already. Let's go. Alright, so Mordsuk. Alright, there you are. Fine weather we're having today in Mordsuk, isn't it? No such thing as a thing without value. That's the creed of these folk. We'll find no shortage of verbertite trinkets here. Finding the right one, on the other hand, is the challenge. I say divide and conquer, as before. Alright then. Question the residents of Mordsuk. Alright, we need to find 2 of them. Alright, there's Zinzin. Well met, well met. How may I be of service to you? Oh ho, a choker that once belonged to a verbertite royalty, you say? If only I had such a remarkable treasure in my possession, but no, I do not. In all my years here, I have never even heard of someone unearthing such a thing. Alright. And there is a human peddler over there. Yes, do you have business with me, traveler? Ah, the verbertite choker. Is that what all this fuss is about? Then you're in luck, for my husband has yet to sell it. Once we realized how valuable it was, though, he insisted on carrying it with him at all times. If you're not willing to wait for him to return, you could try to find him at the ruins where he's scavenging for relics. They're not far. Alright. Let's report in. What news, friend? Ah, to think it was that easy. You have the luck of the Fae. But we need to hurry. If my theory is correct, then so long as that scavenger has a choker, he's a target for Dikaiosine. Alright, search for the enterprising scavenger. Actually, it's going to be a lot easier to just teleport down here. Alright, there's our destination. Ah, scissor jaws. You are a hunt target. And you're in my way. So... there we go. Let's get that out of the way. Mercy, mercy. There's our target. Take whatever you want, but please don't kill me. I have a family. Please, I beg of you. Okay, he's getting transformed into a Sin Eater. I guess we're gonna have to deal with that. Yep. Unfortunate, but no choice. Oh, come on. Alright, so now we need to rendezvous back with Granson after I'm finished with this. Alright, and he is over there. There's a roulette in that one. Looks like he encountered a Sin Eater as well. Shame he missed the fun. This one bit off more than he could chew. Probably because it was a newborn. You can tell by the lingering vestiges of intelligence and self. You can see it in their eyes, like when Dikaiosine... don't tell me you saw him. Wicked White, and he took the choker too? Damn it all. He can't keep getting away with it. He can't keep getting away with it. It's just like right. I was too late to save him, just like I was too late to save her. But not again, never again. I'll hunt you to the ends of the world, Dikaiosine. Vengeance will be mine. Okay. Fine. Right, yes. Neither the time nor the place. More Sin Eaters could be about. It's just, every time I cut one down, it reminds me of my first, of her. Who's gonna deliver the bad news? Alright, we may have failed to stop him this time, but what matters is that we'll both live to see another day. Pity the scavenger didn't, and the wife doesn't yet know she's become a widow. Sod it, I'll tell her what happened. I've been there, so maybe it'll help me to find the right words. Not that there ever are any. Afterwards, I'll have a good think about our next step. Don't let me keep you from your other affairs, Ayame. We'll speak again soon. Alright, there. We're done. And then this one becomes available at level 76. I just have to remember that it's going to be here in Mordsuk. Alright, so let's go ahead and head back on over to Fort Job. And, return to our original plan. Alright, there's Mirkant. And the rest of the group. Well met, traveler, what business brings you here? Yes, of course, right this way.
No matter how far he goes, man cannot resist looking back on the path he has walked. The untold stories and secrets of the past can be more alluring than the promise of tomorrow. And so he braves the forests of Raktika in search of mystery and wonder. Of Ronka, to which all seekers of hidden truths are inevitably drawn.
We have arrived. Vast though these woods may be, they are, by and large, uninhabitable. Not so the swamps of Cydia, however, whose sparse foliage permitted man a foothold.
No lands must remain beyond our grasp. Go forth, conquer, rule!
Forgive me. A sudden pang of nostalgia for those halcyon days.
Exploring virgin territories, subjugating primitive peoples, all for the glory of Garlemald.
If you've brought your ivory standard, I'll be happy to tell you where to stick it.
Can we not simply take a moment to enjoy the view together? Or would you rather I spied on you from the shadows? Much more of this, and I may very well begin to regret my show of good faith.
If you really want to stay, then help us fight.
No, I think not. I am an observer, nothing more. Even shielded by the shadows of these boughs, I feel the light's presence most keenly. To accompany you is taxing enough. To fight is out of the question.
I will suffer your company if I must, but not your commentary.
Looks like Emet-Saka's gonna be sticking around. Alright. Displaying our Asian counterpart meaneth to follow wheresoever we lead. But otherwise, he would not suffer the overabundance of light in these woods. Verily, it pervadeth every corner, and so long as the Light Warden remaineth, the Sin-Eaters shall be free to prey upon these lands without surcease. If naught is done, 'tis but a matter of time before the blessed succumb. 2 years passed, a swarm of Sin-Eaters did lay waste unto their largest settlement, killing a great many of their priests in so doing. Though some few did survive, they knew not how to go on, wayward souls in want of a guiding hand. For mercy, Y'shtola hath provided that which they sorely needed. They have since endeavored to restore their home, and thither shall we bend our steps to Fort Gon. Alright. Alright, here we are. This place looks a little worse for wear.
I see little sign of recent activity. Nor hath any meaningful progress been made with the reconstruction. Mayhap Y'shtola sought shelter elsewhere. Come, let us quit this place.
Now! Surround them! These Sin-Eaters, they're not like the others.
There's a reason for that. Lower your weapons, please. We mean you no harm.
How is it they can speak?
It's a Sin-Eater trick. They mean to kill us all.
Kupo?
That will seem a lot less amusing when we are forced to kill them.
Oh, for the love of... I had hoped that by accompanying you, we might come to understand one another. But all I have come to understand is that you have a knack for inflaming the natives. You've committed the cardinal sin of boring me. And so, I retire to the shade. Good luck.
There! Did you see that one disappear?
I think I preferred La Habrea.
Enough. Runar, report.
Master Matoya! We apprehended them as you ordered, but... are you certain these are Sin-Eaters?
The intense light of the ether I saw was unmistakable. If not Sin-Eaters, then what?
'Tis passing queer that Y'shtola should mistake us for the enemy, is it not? Mayhap it hath been too long since last she beheld the radiance of thine ether. Master Matoya, hath time truly made strangers of us?
Nay, I recognize you, Eorzea, Thancred. And this is Minfilia of the First, of whom you spoke before.
Just so. And knowing as thou must that we come in peace, might I prevail upon thee to have thy comrades lower their arms?
First explain this other presence in your company, the one I know not. There is but one manner of creature in this world whose ether is suffused with such an abundance of light.
Mine apologies, Master Matoya, but thou art mistaken. Before thee standeth our dearest comrade, the truest hero among us. Though she is but recently arrived here in the First, not one but two Light Wardens have already perished by her most puissant hand.
It cannot be.
It's been too long, clearly.
Master Matoya?
Lower your weapons. Forgive us this hostile welcome. Come. I would give you a proper introduction to Raktika and its people.
So yeah, again, remember, Y'shtola is physically blind. She can't actually see. She sees by sensing ether. So apparently, our ether is pretty bright right now. Interesting. Alright, so, Y'shtola. You have been busy since arriving in the First, I gather, but I would hear the tale of your travels, or travails, in a more suitable surroundings. With Vorkgon yet to be rebuilt, the Knights Blessed have made their home in a settlement to the northeast. I will await you at its entrance. Follow the path through yonder gate, and you will find me soon enough. Alright then. I do really like the music here. Alright, there's Y'shtola. There you are. I was beginning to worry. Much like the 12's would, this forest has a way of dealing with those who stray too far from the beaten path. But I digress. Let me show you the home of the Knights Blessed. An aetheryte. Excellent. Y'shtola?
Slitherbow is the largest of the blessed settlements. They worship no gods, instead revering darkness itself. It is a curious kind of faith, but one which has granted them the strength to persevere in the wake of the flood. I hope you weren't expecting a grand feast by way of welcome. They are a simple people. Now, I would hear of your travels away from prying ears. Come. I see. And now you seek the Light Warden of Raktika. In the days after I arrived in the First, I too relied upon the Crystal Exarch for guidance. But his penchant for secrecy and the telling of half-truths soon lost him my trust. And thus did I strike out on my own. My work eventually led me here to the forest, which I've come to know like the back of my hand. I cannot say with certainty where your quarry is hiding, but I am confident I can narrow the search.
Well, go on then.
Some few thousand years ago, this forest stood at the heart of the Empire of Ronka. A great many relics of that civilization can still be found to the east in Ixmaya. Or rather, could be found, were the area not fiercely guarded. Ixmaya, you see, is home to a tribe of warriors whose lineage is said to date back to the time of the Empire. Any attempt to enter their territory is met with lethal force. They offer no warnings, and suffer no trespasser to escape. Needless to say, my every attempt to survey the area has been thwarted.
Mayhap the Warden hideth there, full knowing none may approach it for fear of these protectors.
As for the tablet, I find the timing of its discovery suspiciously convenient. If I did not know better, I would think someone was trying to curry favor with me. Regardless, it will take time to decipher these writings. Yet I would not be at all surprised if they somehow held the key to entering Ixmaya unmolested. The Exarch has a nose for serendipity.
If there is aught I can do to assist thee in unraveling their secrets, thou needst only ask.
Thank you, Eorzea. I may well take you up on that offer. While we set to work, might I suggest you take a tour of the city? Should you be in any doubt as to the importance of your role as the Warrior of Darkness, the people here will surely cure you of it.
I must say, Stola, while most of us have struggled to come to terms with our altered circumstances, you seem to have adapted rather well.
Lest you forget, Master Matoya and I dedicated our lives to uncovering the truth which hides at the heart of our world. Though separate, the fate of this reflection is nevertheless bound to that of our home. That I would be daunted by such an invaluable opportunity is absurd. But what of you, Thancred? Could it be that you are still struggling to come to terms with the nature of your young companion?
My struggles are none of your concern. Quite why you would speak thus and in this company, I do not know. Perhaps you left more of yourself back in the source than I assumed. If you'll excuse me.
He understands that I'm not the same. That I'm not her.
Understands, perhaps, but does not accept. The question being whether he ever will. And whether you will, more importantly. As difficult as your circumstances may be, they are yours, not his. 'Tis you and you alone who bears ultimate responsibility for your life. But you need not make any hard choices now. Why not go and get some fresh air, clear your head?
All right. Think you stole a hit, Thancred, in a soft spot. Alright. So, next order of business. Alright, I am not indifferent to Thancred's troubles. Nevertheless, I will not apologize for holding him to a higher standard after all these years. He has ever been a man of considerable resolve, and that is what I will continue to expect. Though it heartens me to know that some of us remain ourselves in spite of our present circumstances. I can but imagine how Alice and Alphino have changed since arriving here in the first. Change is part of life. We can but hope it's changed for the better, sure. You're right, and after my untoward remarks to Thancred, no doubt he thinks I changed for the worst. I will have to speak to him later. I will have to speak with him later, yeah. Okay. Returning to the matter at hand, I really must begin work on deciphering this tablet. In the meantime, perhaps you should take a look about Slitherbow. If there is anything you need, pray speak with Runar at the plaza. Alright. Well, first thing we need to do is attune to that aetheryte. Alright, what does Runar have for us? Welcome, friend. Welcome. My apologies for our less than hospitable greeting earlier. Tell me, what is your name? From where do you hail? From the Crystarium, I see. And this tablet you brought may help us find the Light Warden here in Raktika? Well, you are welcome to stay with us for as long as you need. Come, let me show you around. Would it be alright if I joined you? Of course, of course. Anything for the guests of our dear Master Matoya. Thank you. She means a great deal to the Knights Blessed, doesn't she? If not for her, we may have all perished in the Great Fire. With our priests slain and our home in ruins, we were at the mercy of the Sin Eaters. It was she who drove them back, and with her sage guidance, we were able to rebuild. Before long, she became a central figure in our community, a great oak within whose shadow we may have come to find solace. That is not to say there were not those hesitant to grant an outsider such authority, myself included. Perhaps it is a smile in her eyes when she speaks of the sunless sea. I feel whole again, now that she is with us, and I have no doubt the others feel the same. She is as much a part of the Knights Blessed as any of us, and we are grateful for all she does in service to the dark. But you did not hear this from me, yes? Now, you should know there are certain customs we ask guests to adhere to so long as they reside within Slitherbow. To show reverence to the dark? In a word, yes, but fear not, it is not too involved. Let us begin with something simple. Follow me. Alright. Alright, should you see any of our people come to this chamber, they have likely returned from a journey beyond the borders of Raktika. We use the water stored here to cleanse ourselves of the light's impurity. A simple, perhaps peculiar custom, but it is one of our most important. Would you two kneel for just a moment that I might rid you of the light's impurity? Very well. As Runar lightly sprays you with water, your skin begins to tingle. And with that, you have been cleansed of the light's blighted touch. How do you feel? I'm not sure, to be honest. Not refreshed exactly, but I do feel different. Has this water been treated in some way? Only blessed by our priests. They are practiced in arcane arts. As such, it is said their prayers imbue the water with a faint, dark energy. A prickling sensation. No one has ever spoken of such a reaction before. I wouldn't say it was an unpleasant sensation, but I too felt something strange. The dark aspect of this water should have no discernible effect, unless... By the gods, Master Matoya was right. You are sin-eaters. I jest, I jest. What you felt was likely no more than the chill of the water. Perhaps now will be a good time for you to acquaint yourselves with the people of Slitherbow. I have trouble saying that. For that, I must teach you a customary greeting. Alan Tuta, in the language of Ronka, it is one of several ways one might say good evening. The world is not as safe as it once was, and this greeting lets us quickly discern friend from foe. Is there a handshake or gesture we should know too? I would hate to offend anyone. You need not worry. Merely speak the words Alan Tuta, and they will know you as friends of the blessed. I'll await your return here. Now go. They are like to be heartened by your knowledge of our ways. Alright, chat mode and say... Okay, we greet villagers. But I think we're probably at the end of the episode here. So... we'll go ahead and make our rounds of the village when we come back for next episode. And then hopefully see if Ystilla can decipher the tablet. And then see what we are going to need to do to be able to access the rest of the forest here and hopefully find the Light Warden. Alright, but for now, we'll stop here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.